For design 1, let's read together. We're going to use one geometric shape. Choose from a square, a circle, a rectangle, a triangle, anything that is of a geometric measurable shape. And we have our templates, our cardboard templates. All right, we have circles, we have squares, we have triangles, we have polygons. Okay, so we have things that are of what, various sizes, right? Because what we're going to be instructed to use on this is one geometric shape. Don't go over 9 total. And we need to vary the size and the placement of the shapes so that one of them shows emphasis. We have to make sure that they do not overlap, okay? And the shapes should run off the sides of the design to better use the negative or background space. No one may use center as emphasis. So remember, putting things here in the center is stagnant, it's boring, it's not going to create emphasis. Only if we place things around or on one of these intersections, or what we call the hot spots, will we make something stand out. When we finish, it says to color in all the shapes with a Sharpie. So they're all going to be solid black, like our Sharpie. All right, so keeping that in mind, I'm going to show you an example. It is not to be copied in any way by you. You need to create your own design. But let's say I use a circle, right? My question is, how am I going to make this circle that I draw stand out? Remember, you can either put your circle of choice, or whatever object you're choosing, your shape, needs to live on one of these intersections to help it stand out, okay? It's a good place to put it. But you have to decide, is it going to stand out by size change? Is it going to stand out by how things are organized on the page? Well, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of both, we hope. Okay, so I'm going to make my size change dramatic. If you go from this size to this size, it's not very different, right? But if I go from this size to that size, or even bigger, it's going to be a dramatic change. So I'm going to make my little guy here, I'm going to put him on an intersection, right? So this is my goal for something to stand out. All my other circles need to help me get to this circle. So one way is to make them look different in size, right? So I'm going to play with some variety of sizes of circles. Now notice this first circle looks like he's going off my design space. It creates a little bit of interest. We know that he kind of imaginarily continues out there, but we don't see all of him. That makes him interesting, all right? But I need more of these because we want this to stand out. So I need to make some other big shapes. So I'm going to continue to make some bigger circles, a variety of sizes. Nice and big guys. And again, remember, they cannot overlap right now. And we need a total of 9 shapes. So right now, what do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to fit 4 more shapes within this design space. Well, there's some more that can go off the side of the page, right? I don't want to get too small with my circles because they might steal or hog the attention that I don't want to give. So let me come in here, get close but not touch. There's 6. Okay, maybe I come up here and I get 7. I got some space down here. Here's 8. And then maybe there's another one down here. Here's 9. So I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shapes, total of 9 shapes. They vary in size and placement. Some of them are creatively going off the sides of the page, all right, to create interest. But the biggest thing that's helping this stand out or creating emphasis is that there's a big change in size, dramatic, all right? He is dramatically smaller. Maybe you start a design where your object is really big versus the other shapes that are small. So size, remember, is a way to make things stand out, all right? This is a good use of space. There's not much background. Look at the background. There's not much there. And again, we're going to finish it off the way it's instructed, by playing with the Sharpie marker. Now remember, when working with the Sharpie marker, if you're in your sketchbook or even on a table, you want to make sure you're using that cardboard blotter board that I gave you so that you don't bleed through on an important table or counter. We don't want to make anybody mad, and we don't want to go over any artwork that's important in our sketchbook, so we want to save as many papers as possible. So by making this solid, it has a little bit of a nice impact. Rather than being hollow outlines, we can kind of start to see the solidness of the shapes better, okay? So design one shape, style, multiple sizes, no overlapping, so they can't touch. We want it to stand out by size. We want to make sure that we're using a lot of space so that at least 70% of our space is taken up with the objects that we draw. And we want to make sure that the object that we want to make stand out is living on an intersection or a hot spot of interest. Do not place it in the center. All right, here we go, almost done. And again, do not recreate this shape by shape, all right? But it is an example to get you to help to understand this first challenge.